Good morning. We as the Ethnos leadership team realized that we are living in unprecedented times. That message we have heard from politicians and world leaders all over the globe. It is a time where all of our plans and priorities have been interrupted. I guess we can say that we are living in the biggest interruption that have ever been recorded. That is what Covid-19 have brought to our lives. Many of us are confronted with relationships with spouses as we are in lockdown, relationships with our children. We are forced to innovate and think new in terms of our businesses. And in a way, that is the good part of the Covid-19. But we are also confronted with the gap between those that are not having all of the riches that some might have. And the gap between the poor and the rich is ever widening through this crisis. And that is something that is confronting us as we are seeking ways to respond to this specific virus. I do believe that out of this time will come innovation and entrepreneurship that was not seen since the Industrial Revolution. Even our church services needs to be relooked and rethought, our spirituality and our contact with each other. This COVID-19 virus is therefore an opportunity for us to think and rethink and evaluate our lives and what is real, what is the real priorities, what's our values. It is a stop time, a time where most of the world just have to stop. And it gives this opportunity to really evaluate what is our values and our core of why we are living. What is our purpose? Why are we here really? Because in the hustle and bustle of normal life, we do not have the time to reflect. So that's the good outcome. But the other side of the coin is that many people are sick. Many people are desperately lonely. Many people are bereaved because of a loved one that have passed on. We are in the middle of the crisis, and we know that many more people will lose their lives according to the scientists, and our hearts are breaking. So in a way, we as Ethnos, as the wider church, need to find ways of representing the needs or be a help to the needs out there. And that starts with prayer, of course. We cannot deal with this situation if we are not praying for each other, loving on each other, thinking of ways to reach out outside of the normal, and maybe it will become the normal. In present, apart from prayer, we are challenged with a massive humanitarian crisis. Many people do not get their salaries. Many people that are day laborers are just not having any income because they are in lockdown. Many people are hungry. This is probably right around the globe one of the biggest times of where the biggest number of people are really desperately hungry. So we need to respond to that as well. So not just prayer, but physically we need to respond to this need in this uncharted time that we are living in. Face masks. How can we be neighborly? The good, but also the worst in mankind can come out in a time like this. We can see riots, and we can see that people are not able to connect with other people. Because in general, we in any case go through a world where we don't even see each other. It's like trains passing by one another. You go to the mall and you don't know who you've seen. People are passing you by. You go and drive, but you don't see who's standing next to the traffic light in the car next door. So I do believe that God is affording us also this time to stop and see people again, to see one another again, to hear His voice again and seek Him in prayer. I do believe that we might see a big revival coming out of this difficult time. A time where our faith are reevaluated, our relationship with the Lord, and where we make adjustments, serious adjustments. where we can start to see what the impact is of a holy life. That is all put on the table before us. So only time will tell how we are going to be seen and being remembered in a time like this. Will we be seen as innovators, as entrepreneurs, as people who really love and go beyond? Are we going to be seen as people who responded in faith and in prayer and under the guidance of the Holy Spirit? Are we going to be seen as people who made use of this very, very difficult and traumatic time in our lives to see that good comes forth for many hundreds and thousands of people? Or are we just going to see this as a time of lockdown, and when the virus is over, life goes on as normal? I dare say we cannot allow this opportunity to pass us by. We need to find counsel from God. We need to find His heart, His strategy, His ways. And in all of this, it helps us to renew our personal relationship with the Lord Himself by just getting close to Him again, becoming worshippers again. The crisis have closed churches down, but in a way, our houses have become the places of fellowship. In a way, people cannot go to a priest or to a pastor to confess their sins, but suddenly we have only one way, and that's God Himself. And for that, we can be eternally grateful. We cannot be Sunday church Christians anymore. We have to see how in our day-to-day, minute-by-minute, second-by-second life, our relationship and our fullness of the Holy Spirit can be reflected. If we are making use of this opportunity to find the relationship and intimacy with God, if we are making use of this time to come close to His heart, then I believe we will see a great revival coming out of this time. For now, we can only pray and give and ask the Lord how we can make a difference, even during lockdown. May God richly bless you.